Are you 50, almost 50, or approaching 50, or after 50? Stay with me. This is for you. I'm going to give you tips that can help you. Actually, 4 very essential tips that can help you stay young, 50 and beyond. This is incredible. I'm approaching 57. Yeah, I'm not 14, I'm not 15, I'm not in my 20s, I'm not in my 30s, I'm not in my 40s. I'm almost approaching 60 before I know. However, I have vitality. And vitality means equals to your life force. It means the light inside of you is up and running, is bright, and that's what we want. We are beings of light, and we want to be feeling at our greatest. We want to thrive being ourselves at all stages of our lives, not just only when we're kids, not only when we're teenagers and life is exciting. So stay with me. These are you ready? The 4 tips that can really help you stay young, 50 and beyond. Stay young, but stay also agile, stay vital, stay strong, stay sharp in your mind, stay engaged. All these are important components of the puzzle of our well-being. And don't forget that our well-being is truly our wealth, and we must invest in the here and now each day, not just in the future when we have symptoms and we have a diagnosis, or to to really have any impact that is beneficial, but really today, starting today, anytime, whatever age you are, start today. Just apply these 4 different principles and see what happens to you. Now, nobody told me this. This is what has worked for me. You have to find your own. But if this helps you, maybe it's an open door in 4 directions that can more or less guide you to ensure that you can embrace your vitality into your 50s and beyond. Because I don't know about you, but I want to ensure that when I'm 70, 80, 90, if I get to live that long, maybe if I become a centenarian, I can recognize my kids, I can hug them, I can run down the stairs and invite them to a nice warm meal or a salad or whatever I'm creating. So this is very essential. So the number 1, believe it or not, is to stay curious, because staying curious, it puts us in a position where we can have an open mind, an open heart, an open body and spirit to embrace everything that comes with us, with that active listening from our hearts, from our engagement in our brains, to see what is the world trying to teach me today. It keeps us in that position like children, of having a question and living with questions, not with answers. That question mark of what is new today, what is extraordinary out of the ordinary of my day, what is extraordinary about this person I'm meeting right now, this interaction, this moment, this engagement, this situation that is happening to me, whether it's good or bad. It allows us to really embrace it all fully in our hearts, and to have that ability to always stay in that state of being a student of life. So I encourage you to think about what's one way that you can increase your level of curiosity in your life, and then see how that manifests in the results of how you feel. What are the emotions that come out as a result? Whether your life opens and takes you in new directions. It's like if I'm walking on my path every day, but today I come this way, and that, I can't go this way because it's a branch, so I go underneath and I discover something new. So just keeping in that curiosity state can be so abundant for your life. So that's one tip. The other tip is, guess what? To remain active. These bodies are not meant to be sedentary. Our bodies are not meant to be laying down and sitting down all day or for many hours in a row. We are meant to move, and it doesn't mean you have to be jumping up and down. You could be sitting, but remember to do gentle neck rolls. Remember to bring your shoulders up and down in different directions. Remember to do a few little stretches, even if you're in the doctor's office. Maybe some circles at your hips, some squats, some push-ups against the wall, whatever works. Just keep yourself active. Even fidgeting is supposed to be really good. Or if you're watching a movie, in my case with my kids, because I had my kids late, but if you have grandkids, I have friends that have grandchildren. It's not uncommon approaching 60 to have grandchildren. If you're watching a movie or doing an activity that is passive with them, maybe you can still need or do something that engages movement. And it also keeps, this is the next step. So think of, before we go to step number 3, think of one thing that you're going to do to support step number 2. What is one way that you can incorporate some movement in your daily life, ideally associated with activities that you do anyway? So if you're going to brush your teeth, or if you're going to sit on a chair, this is a great opportunity to do a couple of squats. That's all you need. Just think about it, or raise your leg up and down, whatever it is, or a few jumps, or anything that works for you. A few nice little stretches that really bring some movement, and that brings oxygen to your brain. So we're going to move to step 3. So 3 tips. These are not steps, they're just tips. They're just, guiding, cornerstones that you could use if they work for you. If they don't work for you, it may be something else. But number 3 is very important, and that is to keep an active, agile mind. And how can we do that? Learning to, do stuff that engages with the world around us. So these two are associated: learning and keeping an active mind in association with engaging with the world around us, engaging in our social lives, in our community, ideally thinking about how can I contribute at this point in my life? What can I give to the world? What is one thing that I can bring some of my value into my community, to my neighbors, to my loved ones, in situations I'm in life? So this is a component of your social engagement. It's very important that we have one little piece, at least one connection with one other person, that when you interact with them, don't think about what you're telling that person, but how are you helping that person feel as a result of that interaction with you? Do you feel that when they look at you after they interacted with you, they have shiny eyes and they brighten up, and that vitality life force is up and running? That is what is important. So if you create those opportunities to have that social engagement, I live in a forest. Sometimes I have to do it virtually. I'd rather in person, but it doesn't matter how. But you do need to have that extension, that connection, that network that is your net that supports you, so that when one relationship fails, you have all the others holding you. That's very important, because we as human beings have it in our DNA to have grown in a community. And you know how they said, even with kids, it takes a community to raise a child. It also takes a community to keep a human being whole and alive, and feeling that, because we see each other in the mirrors of one another. So if we're completely alone, yeah, the trees give me some feedback, but not enough. Now, what is one thing you could do to increase, if you don't have it already? Some people have a really social life. And hey, having a social life, going party, dancing, doesn't necessarily mean that it fulfills you in your heart. I'm talking about connections that after you interact with that human being or that community situation, you feel more of yourself, but you also help, it's reciprocal. You help the other person feel more of themselves. That's the kind of reciprocity I'm talking about. It's an exchange of beautiful energy. It's that loving connection. So think about one thing that can bring that into your life. And finally, are you ready? Number 4. The number 4 tip I have is exactly the opposite. This is weird, right? It's the opposite. It's spending a bit more time on your own, meditating, an activity that puts your body, your mind, your spirit, your emotions at peace, so you have a self-regulated nervous system. For me, it's spending time in nature with my eyes open and then with my eyes closed, meditating by the river, blocking all the world outside of me by closing my eyes and listening to the sounds of nature. Right now, the spring is coming, the snow gradually is melting. I start hearing the birds singing. It's almost like they know the calendar, and on March 1st they started singing away. So just noticing those little nuances of life, tuning in within yourself, because that creates that separation between the outside and the inside, that distinction that would allow you to always remain authentic and true to yourself. So all these pieces together will keep you whole, will keep you supple, it will keep you young in heart, in spirit, in mind, in bodies, with the movements, in your brain being active and sharp. Try it out. What is one thing that you can do to spend a bit of time in yourself, such as being reflective, even lighting up a candle and seeing the burning light of the candle, whatever that that works for you. Staying in nature, listening to some soothing music. Just do one activity. So in summary, these are the four things, right? You want to keep curious and always learning. You want to keep active and not be too sedentary. Here and there, bring that movement. You want to learn, be a student of life through the connections, the social connections that will help you be part of that network where you're giving and receiving in a reciprocal manner. And then finally, as we said, not spending time alone. Don't be afraid to be alone, because out of that, your authenticity, your uniqueness, your originality comes. And that's what all those pieces together will help you thrive being you. And that's what we want. I believe 100% that if you apply 1, 2, 3, ideally all of these principles from today on, you're going to shine bright. And this shining bright, this ensuring that you're thriving being you, and I'll work on thriving being myself, can co-create a beautiful, radiant world. We need this. We need to live it for 7 generations to come and forward. This example that we can still work and do things in our lives, but we need to be alive, kicking and happy, jumping, dancing, listening to music, staying really much engaged with life, finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. So I hope that this resonates with you. And if it does, keep thriving being yourself, and also pass this message along, comment below, subscribe above, and I thank you for watching, and I wish you love, peace, namaste, and keep shining bright into your 50s and beyond.